Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, dear O-levels, IGCSE, my question to you is, what is chromosome made from? DNA, right? And what is chromosome is made from DNA, and chromosome contains dash information. Genetic information in the form of genes. है ना? And you know what is gene? Recording हो रही है? So chromosome is a thread-like structure made by DNA, है ना? It contains genetic information in the form of
DNA.
gene. But the question is, what is gene? Hello? Gene is the part of DNA that codes for a protein. Well done, Ramin. So every part of DNA is not the gene. Yes or no? यार ये बिल्कुल end हो रहा है, बैटरी खत्म. Every part of DNA is not the gene. Only that part of DNA is gene which codes for a particular protein. पता है ये मैं उसके हॉटस्पॉट पे ले रहा हूँ क्लास क्योंकि एकेडमी का नेट नहीं चल रहा. ओके, एलील क्या होता है? बासमा, रमीन, फहद, अमीर हैदर, एलील. Alternative form.
सर आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, no, अब आ रही. Alternative form of a gene which codes for another phenotype of same trait. Yes or no? और बच्चों ये मुझे बताएं कि डोमिनेंट एलील क्या होता है? ओके वेट, इससे पहले होमोजाइगस क्या है? अ पर्सन हैविंग सेम alleles of a trait. Very good. And what is heterozygous? A person with two different alleles of a trait. And what is dominant allele? In a heterozygous person, the allele that shows itself is called dominant allele. Very good. Basma, Ramin, Zabardast. And dominant allele is represented by big letter. If and if, remember, if you are using same letter. If you are using different letters, then dominant and recessive both are shown by big case. Like A is dominant to O and blood group, but we show both A and O with big letters. But if I choose just one letter A, the recessive should be with small. And what else we did yesterday? Homozygous, heterozygous, yeah, genotype. Genotype is the combination of alleles. And bacho, one more on the recap was phenotype, the physical appearance. Yes or no? Done? Outcome of genotype. So this is all the recap so far. Let's go on to some new things. You know, human males, they have X chromosome and Y chromosome. And
Yes,
females have two X chromosomes. X and X. So when males produce, sperms, so half of the sperms have X chromosomes and half have Y chromosomes. Got it? When female produce eggs, but all eggs have what? X chromosome. Can you see the picture, bacho? During meiosis, reduction division, chromosomes get half. So if female makes 10 eggs, all 10 will have X. If male makes 10 sperms, 5 will have X, 5 will have Y. Right? So sex determination is our new topic. What is sex determination? Sex determination means decision of the gender. Sex determination means what does the gender depend on? So, bacho, what does the gender depend on?
Sir, male.
Does it depend on sperm or egg? Yeah.
Sperm.
So sex, yeah, gender depends Wow, good. Thank you, Heather. Depends on which sperm fertilizes the egg. If sperm with X fertilizes the egg, dash is made.
Female.
Wow. दुर्शवार आवाज आ रही है बेटा?
जी सर आ रही।
If sperm with X chromosome fertilizes the egg, female is produced. And if sperm with dash fertilizes the egg, male is produced.
Why?
Why?
Yeah. So it's always the sperm which decides. You know it very well. If sperm with X fertilizes, so it is female because egg में तो X ही होता है ना. So female is XX. Sperm with Y fertilizes the egg, male, which is X and Y is produced. I hope you understand. So you know genes make dash. बच्चों genes make what? Yes, Kamil, mashallah. Genes make protein. अभी रामीन ने बताया था. Gene is the part of DNA which codes for a Ramin beta protein. Yes or no? Every part of DNA is not gene. Only that part which codes for a protein is gene, right? So protein क्या होती है? Gene में sequence of dash and the gene. What is gene made from?
Bases.
Mashallah Dureshwar, because gene is a part of DNA and DNA is made up of ATGC. So sequence of bases and DNA decides sequence of G basma, sequence of dash and protein.
Amino acid.
Amino acids. Dureshwar the Great. Amino acids. बच्चों proteins are made up of amino acids and DNA या gene is made by bases. So the sequence of bases in the gene determines sequence of dash and protein. Amino acids. And you know there are many different types of protein. Yes or no? There are so many. For example, in our body there are about 30,000 proteins, 30,000 types of protein. So I write a very, very important note here that there are about 20 naturally occurring amino acids. बच्चों total amino acids कितने हैं?
23
सर
Yes.
सर अगर मतलब 20 मतलब के अमाइनो एसिड है सर, तो इसको 20 के तो मतलब कितने सीक्वेंस बन सकते हैं, मतलब के 19वां पीछे लग जाए तो इसका मतलब मिलियंस ऑफ प्रोटीन बन जाएंगे.
Yes. So proteins differ. Beta, what do proteins differ in? Proteins differ in the sequence of
Amino acid.
yes, amino acids they have. For example,
Sir, what does naturally occurring amino acid means?
Means amino acids are made by lab as well.
You mean made in body
एक
or a
सेकंड
human body?
एक सेकंड जी खदीजा बेटा मैं तो क्लास में हूँ. क्लास तो कब की स्टार्ट हो गई है. वेट या खदीजा आप ज्वाइन करें ना प्लीज. शी इज आस्किंग मी कि आप क्लास ले रहे हैं नहीं. G. Heather, please, can you come again? I was responding to a message.
Yeah, yes, sir. I was asking, does naturally occurring amino acid means the amino acids produced in human body? I mean, human gene itself?
Human or, I mean, living things. The amino acids
Living thing, yeah,
which are
exactly.
not made in lab,
Okay, okay, sure.
right? So the next two, any questions so far? Let me show you number. Okay, order wise. So this was our first page of recall and new topic. And this is my second page, gene and protein. And now is the third. So the third is about how are proteins made. So basically DNA controls making of protein, right? In fact, DNA controls making of protein. And what are different types of proteins? But do you know some proteins? I mean, proteins are like enzymes in my body, hormones. Have you heard of hormones?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
give me an example of any like enzyme? Ki koi example, beta? Amylase, है ना? Protease that breaks protein.
Yeah.
Lipase or hormone की example है insulin.
Yeah,
Which
testosterone and FSH as well.
yeah, and insulin lowers the blood glucose level. FSH जो भी हमने पिछले चैप्टर में पढ़ा था, follicle stimulating hormone. नहीं आ रहा यार? LH यार क्यों चुप कर रहे हो? याद आ रहा ना? LH और I mean LH
Estrogen.
estrogen, progesterone, growth hormone, testosterone, बहुत सारे हैं. और इसी तरह antibodies. Sir, I won't ask you name of antibodies. But the thing is, antibodies are also made up of proteins. आपको पता है different enzymes have different dash. A से.
Active site.
Active site.
Wow, wow, different active sites. So why enzymes have different, मतलब their active sites differ? Why do they have different active sites?
Because they have to break down different type of molecule.
Yeah, but what makes them different? What makes the active sites different? So active sites differ because of varying, yes, Basma ऊंचा बोलो. Very good. Varying sequence of
Amino acids.
amino acids.
Amino acids.
Yes. इसी तरह the way enzymes bind to substrate at their active site. So you know,
Yeah.
बच्चों, antibodies bind to dash. ये हमने last week पढ़ा था. Antibodies bind to dash. A से antigen. बच्चों पता है एंटीजन पैथोजन के ऊपर होता है, जर्म्स के ऊपर होता है. Antibodies bind to what? Beta, can you say with me?
Antigens.
Yeah, and antibodies bind to antigens, which are on the surface of pathogen, surface of germs. So let's welcome Ms. Khadija Siddiqui. And antibodies have a binding site. देखो आप इसको घर पे भी लिख सकते हैं. जब आप वीडियो चलाएं ना, मैं चाह रहा हूँ क्लास में आप प्लीज इसको समझने पे फोकस करें. तो बच्चों, enzymes have active site. Yes, no?
Yes, sir, they have.
Enzymes have active site through which they bind to their substrate. And
Yeah.
and antibodies have dash. Binding site.
Binding
Very
site.
good, very good. Through which they bind to they bind to the antigen. Antigen is found on the pathogen, on the germs. So binding sites differ. Binding sites differ because of varying dash.
Binding sites. Oh, sorry. As of
Antigens.
No, binding sites of antibodies differ because of varying sequence of dash.
protein.
Amino acid.
Amino acids. Yeah, thank you. Now we are moving on. Well, Ms. Khadija, आपके आने से पहले हमने ये पढ़ा. मैंने कहा मैं आपको एक रिव्यू कराऊं. ये recap था on the red. Then this.
बस तस्वीर ले लेती हूँ. तस्वीर ले लेती हूँ, पीछे कर दें,
अच्छा, you know what I want कि आप लोग इसको replay करें.
आगे वाली भी.
एक-
ओके, कर लेंगे.
Let me remove this. But I will suggest कि आप इसको वीडियो प्ले करके पॉज करके और फिर इसके नोट्स बनाएं.
ठीक है
ओके बेटा. और थर्ड वन,
जी.
क्योंकि I think picture enough won't be sufficient in my view.
ठीक है.
So dear students, now is a new topic, and that is, वैसे हम नई चीज नहीं कर रहे, तो that is how DNA makes protein. तो इसको हम केयरफुली समझ लेते हैं. कुछ बच्चे हमारे कॉपी भी कर रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं चाह रहा हूँ हम इसको मिलकर समझते हैं. प्लीज, दिस इज द सेल एंड हियर इज व्हाट, न्यूक्लियस. आप पता है न्यूक्लियस, न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन में पता है ना, छोटे छोटे पोर्स होते हैं, शायद आपको पता हो नहीं. हेलो बच्चों,
Sir, why?
जी.
न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन हैज स्मॉल पोर्स. अब मैं ड्रॉ कर रहा हूँ, आपने मुझे बताना है व्हाट एम आई ड्राइंग.
Chromosomes.
Chromosomes.
वेरी गुड, वी कैन कॉल इट डीएनए, है ना. अच्छा, अब मैं
Yeah.
इसको नाउ आई डिलीट दिस एंड आई ड्रॉ दिस अगेन. oops wait. अब आपने मुझे बताना है what difference is in this diagram than the previous one. You can see it is unwound. It got unwound. It opened at certain
Yeah.
place. It opened at certain place. What is that place called? आप मुझे बता दो तो जबरदस्त. It begins with G.
Sir, genes?
Gene. Very good. Because that part wants to express itself. That part wants to show itself as dash.
Allele?
Trait.
P से.
Phenotype?
नहीं. हाँ.
Yeah, but phenotype कैसे? Protein. हमने पढ़ा था ना, gene is part of chromosome which codes for a protein.
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 Genes make protein. Genes make protein. तो अब हम ये पढ़ रहे हैं. तो what is that? The whole DNA doesn't open. The only part of DNA which show them. So देखिए, ये एक part of DNA था, gene which shows which wants to show itself. How will it show? देखो, ये unwind होगा और इसके इसके सामने से एक बनेगा, इसको कहते हैं mRNA. What is it called?
mRNA.
mRNA. It's called messenger RNA. और बेटा आप देखो, ये मैसेंजर आरएनए यहाँ न्यूक्लियस से बाहर आ जाएगा. फिर ये बिल्कुल बाहर आ गया यहाँ पे. दिस इज mRNA. It is made in the nucleus and now it has come out. Got it? And
Okay.
and the cytoplasm, it will meet a gorgeous person called ribosome. What shall it meet with? Even a
Ribosome.
zoom in करके picture बनाइए. Ribosome. Ribosome is just a dot-like structure, but anyway, ribosome. And you know what does ribosome do? It will combine amino acids. It will combine according
Amino acid.
according to the sequence of dash on mRNA.
Bases?
Perfect. Basis. Excellent. Excellent. Because RNA, भले mRNA हो, rRNA हो, tRNA हो, DNA हो, ये nucleic acid है. Yeah, they are made up of bases. So mRNA में जो sequence of bases, that decides the sequence of dash on protein.
Amino acids.
हाँ बच्चों, क्या हो गया? अब आप मुझे fill कराएं. How does gene show itself? Now look, gene remains in the dash.
Sir,
Please,
DNA.
Genes remain in the dash.
DNA.
Good. A copy of gene, DNA नहीं लिखना, copy of gene called dash comes out.
mRNA.
Yes. ऊपर वाले में क्या होगा बेटा? Gene remains in the dash. N से. Nucleus. copy of gene called mRNA comes out. Ribosome. Kindly mute yourself, बच्चों जिसका भी ये शोर है. Ribosome assembles amino acids to make a dash.
Protein.
Protein. Ramin, sequence of amino acids and the protein. ये मुझे बासमा बताएंगी. And the protein depends on sequence of
सर basis.
sequence of bases in mRNA. Right? So let's fill them up. Gene remains in the nucleus. Copy of gene called mRNA. Remember, M is small, RNA is big. Ribosome.
So what is meant by M?
Yes. Sorry?
What is meant by M in mRNA?
Messenger RNA. It takes the message out.
Okay. Fine.
तो बेटा ये क्या होगा? Sequence of bases in mRNA.
All right.
And obviously, sequence of bases on mRNA, sequence of bases in mRNA then further depends on sequence of bases in DNA.
Yeah.
Any problem so far? Hello?
No, sir.
Most
No, sir.
organisms contain same genes. मतलब मैं आपको ऐसा बताऊं कि for example, have you heard of insulin? तो हमने पढ़ा था insulin is a hormone made by what?
Pancreas.
Protein.
इंसुलिन का जीन मेरी आंखों में भी है, एस्ट्रोजन का जीन भी है. तो मतलब जीन हर बॉडी सेल में, बिकॉज वी आर मेड बाय माइटोसिस. बच्चों याद है हम माइटोसिस से बने ना, एक जाइगोट के माइटोसिस से हम बने. तो ईच बॉडी सेल हैज सेम जीन्स, बट एवरी जीन डजंट शो इन एवरी बॉडी सेल. अब इंसुलिन का जीन कहाँ शो होगा? पैंक्रियाज में. समझते हो? एनी क्वेश्चन? मैं
तो
आपको
पहले सेल से टिश्यू बनता है या पहले शो होते हैं ये सारी चीजें, सिम्टम्स?
सॉरी,
I'm asking that पहले जिस तरह पैंक्रियाज का डिफरेंट काम है, तो जब हमारे हर सेल में होगा, तो हर सेल में डीएनए है, तो पहले वो टिश्यू सेल से टिश्यू बन के ऑर्गन बनेगा या स्टार्ट से ये शो होना शुरू हो जाएंगे?
नहीं देखें, डीएनए वी हैव सेम डीएनए से, मतलब बिकॉज हम माइटोसिस इज द रेप्लिका. माइटोसिस इज वेयर क्रोमोसोम नंबर इज केप्ट सेम, आइडेंटिकल. जेनेटिक.
No, I am saying that like we have one eye organ and one, for example, liver or pancreas.
So look,
so
gene,
if there are
gene in the eye, insulin gene in eye, will that express itself or it won't express?
it won't express.
ये वो कह रहे हैं. मैं आपको सिलेबस सुनाता हूँ. वो कह रहे हैं कि explain that most body cells in an organism contain same genes, but many genes in a particular cell are not expressed because the cell only makes the specific protein it needs.
Sir, so,
जी हैदर.
okay. In a placement of the, I'm asking that in every person the placement of organs are on a specific place. So if like they don't show their, I don't know how to explain it, but if they don't show their DNA or mRNA, whatever, at any specific cell, so why do we always have an organ on specific place which perform a specific job in every person?
Can you adapt the question? No, I think your question is about organogenesis. Okay. That why body organs are at one place. Like, for example, why do we have eyes here and not other? not other place. This is organogenesis things, and this is about higher physiology. Is flabbergast, ये क्या लिखा हुआ है? KS कौन है? KS खदीजा जी का आप करें is flabber, ये क्या है यार? Can you read it? नहीं, ये क्वेश्चन से मैं अडेप्ट नहीं कर पा रहा, लेकिन ऑर्गन, व्हाई बॉडी ऑर्गन्स आर एट द प्लेस वेयर दे आर, मुझे समझ आ रही है। आंखें यहाँ क्यों है, यहाँ क्यों नहीं है? तो दिस इज क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट डेवलपमेंटल बायोलॉजी, जो हमारे मैंडेट से काफी बाहर है। So I'll apologize.
Sir, आप मैं question half. I'm saying the organs are on their specific place, but I have different gene which is expressing itself. So why can't it express itself on chest or on forehead or on ears or wherever it want?
Because it's not needed there. You know, why would insulin be made in the testes? Because blood glucose sensors are...
No, not in testes, but they can be produced in liver.
No, why? Why would insulin be produced in eyes, for example, and heart and other things? Because glucose के sensors pancreas में हैं. अब जैसे
वो भी तो किसी प्रोटीन यानी I mean DNA का ही नतीजा है, तो अगर वही कहीं और एक्सप्रेस हो जाए फिर...
Anyway, so look, genes are expressed where they are needed. For example, insulin, pancreas makes insulin, so insulin gene will express itself in the pancreas. लेकिन चलें इस डिस्कशन को फर्दर कंटिन्यू करेंगे, लेकिन द पॉइंट इज कि हम इसको कैसे एक्सप्लेन करेंगे, बिकॉज एवरी बॉडी सेल हैज सेम सेट ऑफ जीन्स, बट every gene is not expressed in every cell, and you can give example because आपके सिलेबस में ये expand में लिखा हुआ है। तो आप कैसे एक्सप्लेन करेंगे कि every gene is not expressed in every body cell? For example, insulin gene is expressed only in the pancreatic cells. Testosterone gene is expressed only in the testes because they are the one to make this. Estrogen gene is expressed only in the ovaries. Adrenaline gene is expressed only in the adrenal gland. ये आप एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं। अब बच्चों मुझे बताओ डिप्लॉयड न्यूक्लियस क्या होता है? अल्लाह, डिप्लॉयड न्यूक्लियस, एनीवन?
डिप्लॉयड न्यूक्लियस का वो एक पूरा वो होता है, क्या कहते हैं, कैसे डिस्क्राइब करूं, उसके 46 क्रोमोसोम्स होते हैं।
या डिप्लॉयड न्यूक्लियस, आप देखो, डाई मींस टू,
वो एक रेगुलर फिर वो नहीं होता, रेगुलर ही है जो हर आपके सेल में होता है एक्सेप्ट फॉर...
इट्स अ लैटिन लैंग्वेज. डाई मींस टू and ploid means set. So diploid is the one, two sets of chromosomes. या आप कह रहे हो diploid nucleus is the one which has actual number of chromosomes, like 46 ह्यूमन में अगर आप देखें तो diploid number क्या है? Diploid number कहते हैं the number of chromosomes that each of our body cell has.
ह्यूमन में 46 है।
Yeah, और haploid nucleus, haploid cell या haploid nucleus is the one
23
having one set,
half number
one set of chromosomes. Very good. Haploid nucleus या haploid cell is the one with one set of chromosomes. ठीक है बच्चों, one set of chromosomes. Any problem so far? Hello? And
No,
you
sir.
know that meiosis क्या है बेटा? Meiosis.
No sir.
Meiosis is a dash division.
Sir, numbers is half and gametes are produced.
Reduction division. Very good. Meiosis is a reduction division. Reduction cell division, where chromosome number is dash.
Halved.
Wow. And this is needed in what? Making dash.
Sexual reproduction fertilization.
Gametes.
ये किसी बच्चे ने gametes का है. Yes, needed to produce
Gametes.
फाद पलीजो है ना? Who is responding? Anyway, so then then they say stem cells. ये हमने एक दिन इसको बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ा था, stem cells क्या होती है। बच्चों, stem cells are the ones which have ये पूरा page recap. I should give heading for recap because we have discussed these things earlier. This is another page 1B और page 4B recap में आ गया। तो बच्चों स्टेम सेल्स क्या होते हैं? यू नो हमारी बॉडी में जो सेल्स हैं, लेट मी स्टॉप शेयरिंग, हम थोड़ा बात करते हैं और फिर मैं वापस पे आता हूँ। अब देखिए जो न्यूरॉन है, लेट मी गिव यू एग्जांपल ऑफ न्यूरॉन। डू यू रिमेंबर न्यूरॉन शेप बच्चों? सेंसरी
Yes, sir.
मोटर रिले न्यूरॉन।
yes, sir.
न्यूरॉन है रूट सेल। डू यू
Yes.
रिमेंबर रूट सेल? You
Yes,
remember
sir.
Yes.
sperm cell, egg cell. Sperm or egg are haploid cells, but they all are cells. पता है गैमेट्स का दूसरा नाम है सेक्स सेल्स। They are simply the cells. Trust me. Cell membrane or egg, या pollen gland and ovule, they have cell membrane, they have nucleus, they have everything that a cell should have. सिर्फ उसमें क्रोमोसोम आदि होते हैं, haploid होते हैं. But the point to understand is root hair cell, red blood cell, xylem ka cell, sperm cell, egg cell, neuron, pollen gland, ovule, these are all dash cells. S से
Stem cells. Specialized.
Sex cells.
specialized.
Yes, sir.
Specialized
Yeah,
cells.
they are specialized. They are dash A से AD, adapted. Basma, good one.
Yeah.
They are specialized cells. They are adapted cells. They are modified cells. I mean, they are the cells which are modified. You know, normal animal cell तो sperm की तरह नहीं होता ना. सोचो उसकी मेम्ब्रेन थोड़ी सी लिंगर ऑन हुई, बेटा समझ आ रही बात? तो नॉर्मल सेल्स व्हेन दे अडैप्ट, व्हेन दे गेट मॉडिफाइड। अगर आप सिंगर बनना चाह रहे हैं तो आप उसके लिए, आप डांसर बनना चाह रहे हैं, गॉड फॉरबिडन, अल्लाह ना करे, ना ही करे तो बेहतर है, लेकिन और बड़े काम है दुनिया में करने वाले। बट इफ समवन वांट्स टू बिकम अ डांसर, तो ही मस्ट हैव फ्लेक्सिबल बॉडी, यस और नो? So if a person has flexible body, we'll say
Yes, sir.
he's adapted to become adapted to dance. If someone has nice throat, this is an adaptation to become a singer, yes or no? If someone has
Yes, sir.
empathy, he has adapted to become a teacher. Like Miss Durishawar is gone, I think. Oh, yaar, मैं तुम्हें compliment. अच्छा, she's here. Who is left?
Delivery.
Fahad has left her. अब देखें, she's got great empathy, mashallah. She is as a passion that her brothers should go study well. और वो लड़ती भी है उनसे बेचारी, कई दफा वो हम कहते हैं नहीं इनको कुछ बोलो. She wants them to study very well, even at the cost of her own pay. Her O level is next like 2 weeks away. तो लेकिन आप ये है कि अगर आप मैं उनके कहता हूँ, मैं कहता हूँ you'll be a wonderful teacher in life, because for a teacher empathy is a must. Caring. अब हम तो जबरदस्ती टीचर बने वैसे, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. अगर मैं डॉक्टर बन जाता तो टीचर ना बनता. नहीं चलें जी, तो गपशप हो रही है. लेकिन देयर आर सम सेल्स, ये सारे स्पेशलाइज्ड हैं, मॉडिफाइड स्टेम्स, और ये डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते. यू नो बेटा, पता है रूटेड सेल से फर्दर रूटेड सेल्स नहीं बनते. न्यूरॉन फर्दर डिवाइड नहीं कर सकता. सुन रहे हैं मेरी?
Then how do they grow?
वेरी गुड. देन हाउ व्हाट?
They grow, they don't divide.
Yeah, they just grow. Thank you. They just grow, get bigger in size. तो हम इनको स्टेम सेल नहीं कहेंगे. What is stem cell? Number one, which is unspecialized, and number two, which can divide. Remember, ये बहुत लंबी डिस्कशन हमारी हुई थी. Stem cells are the ones which are unspecialized and they can divide. They can carry on dividing. जैसे एक सेल से दो बने तो फर्दर वो डिवाइड होकर दो बना. और इनकी इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है? हमने पढ़ा था कि अगर हम अब देखें, लुक, ये मैं, इट्स अ कप ऑफ टी, आई एम होल्डिंग दिस, तो बहुत सारे सेल्स फ्रॉम माय फिंगर्स आर रब्ड ऑफ एंड दे गॉट अटैच्ड टू दिस. So if stem cells beneath the skin, and below in the deep skin, if they don't divide and make new cells, I lose the skin in no time. फिर हमने पढ़ा था, आप देखें ये, this is tuck biscuit. It's a good demonstration वैसे. So आप देखें, I'm eating this. समझ आ रही है या और बताऊं?
Okay, sir. सर इसमें माइटोसिस नहीं हुआ, समझ गया?
नहीं, अभी नहीं समझ.
सॉरी, मैं उससे
एक और से बताऊं. आप देखें, so if you eat something that, you know, inside of your intestine gets rubbed off. Yes or no? This one.
Oh, okay, okay.
So cells are worn out. When cells are worn out, if they are not replaced, believe me, our intestine would finish in no time. I think, I don't know in how much time, but it will finish off. So it's courtesy of stem cells, which have retained the ability to divide. They divide and replace. So stem cells are the ones. Now I'm reading the syllabus. Please be with me. Your syllabus says, describe that stem cells are dash. Juice it. Kamil the Great. Yeah, honestly love you for your wonderful presence, wonderful responses. So Mr. Kamil believes unspecialized cells that divide by dash. Mitosis to produce daughter cells. अच्छा, ये एक सेल जब डिवाइड करके दो सेल्स बनाता है ना, तो ओरिजिनल सेल को मदर सेल कहते हैं, और जो दो बन जाते हैं वो डॉटर सेल्स कहते हैं. वी डोंट नो व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड डॉटर सेल. दे कुड हैव बीन कॉल्ड सन सेल. एनीवे, तो डॉटर सेल्स दैट कैन बिकम.
सर फेमिनिज्म हो रहा है.
हाँ, नहीं, हम तो मैस्कुलिन बात कर रहे हैं. तो यू नो, हाँ, वो जो है ना, दैट कैन बिकम स्पेशलाइज्ड टू स्पेसिफिक फंक्शन. यानी जो सेल बने वो फिर स्पेशलाइज हो सकते हैं टू स्पेसिफिक फंक्शंस. डिड यू गेट इट?
Yes, sir.
अब बच्चों, थोड़ा सा हम let's go to what Khadija had put a question yesterday, and that is our next topic as well, but is less than a minute and time is up. I could have done some inquiries on inheritance. ये बोंगी किसने मारी है? अच्छा, तो पता नहीं कौन सी बोंगी है. See you all. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.